Welcome back to my basement. This is take 5,000 because I was perplexed by my audio, but here we go. Layla asks, how do you let go of a past toxic work environment? My company is positive and amazing, but I still can't shake the hell that I came from to get here. Put it into buckets. Start being thoughtful about where is this actually impacting you? Is it in communication? Is it in bringing ideas to the table? Is it in the way that you're interacting with leadership? Get really specific. Literally make a list of where are the key areas that it is actually impacting you on a day in and day out basis. And then you can start to digest them a little bit more. It's almost like breaking down a recipe to a certain extent. All right, if the toxic environment is too much salt, what other than just too much salt can you look at to reduce that flavor, so to speak? I think if you get really thoughtful about the specific places that it is holding you back, then you can do a really specific job of unwinding those elements to get back to a healthy space. I've been through this. It is difficult. It lingers for a while. But you have to be open in discussing it, and you have to look for the really specific cases where it is still holding you back from a business perspective or where it's making you less than happy, and then address those things with really specific intention. I use specific a lot in that answer. Sorry. Lane K asks, how do you find what you love and make a career out of it? I'm a senior in high school and have no clue. You're not supposed to have a clue as a senior in high school. Two things I'll say. One, when I was between senior in high school and leaving college, I wanted to be like Forrest Gump. I wanted to be an ice hockey goalie in the Olympics. I wanted to be a writer, and I wanted to make movies. That's a pretty random array of things. I ended up being none of those. I think that there's maybe 1/10 of 1% of people in the world that know what they want to do coming out of high school. I took history classes in college because I did not know what I wanted to do, and I just liked studying history. And everyone thought it was completely impractical, but I felt like it was easy for me to at least be moderately engaged with school because I was not a good student. And it also gave me better context for what's happening in the world. So everyone's like, oh, great, you're going to get a history degree. What are you going to do with that? And I was like, I don't know, because I don't effing care. I will figure it out at some point. I knew I wanted to get into sports, and I knew I wanted to do something creative. And I just went for really specific places where I could be a freelancer just to build up enough credibility so that I could then start to get part-time work. So long answer short, man, A, don't worry about it. B, whatever you are doing, do that to the best of your ability, and you will find something that you are super passionate about. I promise you. Look for Dylan LeMay on TikTok. He is one of the coolest dudes on the planet. He worked at Cold Stone and just loved the service industry and refined his craft and saw the broader context in which he was doing things, which was servicing customers and helping them get something that they love and enjoyed. And he found love and enjoyment in that. That's why I say when it comes to purpose, you could be working at McDonald's and you could either be like, this sucks because I work at McDonald's, or you could say, this is amazing because I help people get meals that they can afford and that they love, and I want them to have a better experience when they're here. That's why some people can be super cool with just about any job in the world, and the same person that can love being a janitor can have this incredible aura about them because they see their purpose. And then there's people that are like, I hate my job because they can't find the purpose. I believe that there's purpose in everything, but don't worry about it yet. Just make the most of what you have in front of you. Look for purpose in the highest sense. You'll be more than fine, especially as a senior in high school. You're not supposed to have it figured out by any stretch of the imagination. Emma Weber asks, how does Kelly look like she's aging in reverse? She works her ass off. She does a great job of working her butt off and also having fun. She does the really smart, boring stuff really well and consistently. Stretches like crazy. Her consistency from a training perspective is amazing. I think she just even walked in the door. Hi, babe. Hi, Rod. Kelly, I'm answering a question that is, why does Kelly look like she's aging in reverse? Because she stays out of the sun and she laughs a lot. How perfect is that timing? Stay out of the sun, laugh a lot, stretch, care about being physical, not from an aesthetics perspective, but just how well can you move your body, and enjoy yourself. She's not afraid of a plate of nachos. She's not afraid of some snacks. That's That's part of laughing a lot. That's how she's aging in reverse. And she looks damn fine, doesn't she? All right, B. Doll Holly asks, what advice would you give to somebody feeling stuck in a company whose culture is rapidly changing in the negative, keyword stuck, or golden handcuffs? If your company does not already have a beliefs and/or values committee, create one. If your company already has one of those, volunteer for it. See if the company beliefs and values are actually still valid, or are they just a cheesy set of sentences that any company could put on the wall. I helped rewrite, in fact, I'm happy to say that I led the rewriting of mine a few years ago, and I got really specific and intentional with things that I wanted to address. Take the time to appreciate the effort behind the ask. I wanted to make sure that that was specifically written into our company values and beliefs, because I saw a pervasive, I just need this ASAP, and people not understanding or caring what it was taking other people to do their jobs, and that will just create chaos. So if a committee like this doesn't exist, start one. If one does exist, volunteer for it. Look at your company beliefs and values and see if they need to be rewritten, and be a champion for it. You're going to have to do the work yourself. And if you're okay with that and you're willing to do the work, the outcome can be amazing. After doing all of that and to launch it and to go in front of the company in a live town hall and walk them through what we had written and where this was going, was one of my favorite things that I'll ever do in my entire career. So having a company that is going in the wrong direction can be one of the greatest opportunities that you will come across. And as far as the golden handcuffs go, you either want to stick around for the money or you don't. It's kind of as simple as that. All right, Almost Danielle, do you and Kelly have matching avocado tattoos? Story time. So yes, we do. I think you can see it right there. So yes, we do. No real crazy story to that, other than the fact that that was my first tattoo on this arm. I said that this arm was not going to have any tattoos, and then once Kelly said that she wanted an avocado tattoo, and I was like, ooh, a matching one would be super dope. And then I was like, all right, I guess I'm starting on the other arm. I have the pit. She does not have the pit. We eat a lot of tacos. She has Mexican in her heritage. Her maiden name is Castro. It just felt very endemic and organic, no pun intended, to who we are, what we do, and what we enjoy. And it was just a neat way to have something that we literally shared. And the fact that only one side has the pit, which is mine, really makes them truly matching. User 394470075 4708. Love your stuff. Do you have a second phone to use? I do have a second phone. Apple screwed up. We ended up with two phones during the exchange program, and after literally begging them to give it back, they're like, we already have it. I don't know what the heck happened. So I was like, all right, cool. Now I've got the second camera. Funny thing is, it's usually sitting over here and doing a slider move, but I left it at the office. It's the phone that I use for all the time-lapse stuff in my TikToks at work. And I took it out to put it in the window before I left for the day on Friday, and I left it in the window. So yes, I do. Camera 1 and camera 2, but camera 2 is sitting in the window of my office, and I'm sure it's dead and has been dead for a couple days now. Do you ever press snooze, or are you disciplined to press stop every day? Actually, I pressed snooze this morning, but it was because Evelyn was in bed with us and I didn't want her to wake up. But I get out of bed every day when the alarm goes off. I couldn't tell you the last time I didn't. For me, it's less about getting up, it's going to bed. I need to be more disciplined about going to bed at the right time, but I feel weird sleeping in. Not quite sure why. Like when I was a kid, I totally remember being, between 18 and 20, whatever. I could easily sleep till noon. This wasn't the long-term habit that I've always had, but for some reason now, and especially in the last, between 5 to 10 years, I've been pretty rigorous about getting up early, and I genuinely feel better when I get up at 4:02 versus if I got up at 5 versus any other time. So, and unless there's something really weird going on, it's happening, and it's just gotten to a pretty good groove for me. Cameron asked, do I have a go-to playlist? Looking for one for the hour commute here in Chicago. Born in Chicago, what up Chi-Town? Love y'all much. I'm a big Chi-Town fan. Only lived there for a couple of years, but I love going back. I do, so hit me up on Instagram. The link in my bio there has a whole bunch of links to random stuff, one of which is a Spotify playlist that I put together a while ago. It's based off of the playlist that is the one that I use on a very consistent basis, so give that a shot. Hope you dig it. Lex Verd, dude, make a podcast. I would love to make a podcast. I would love to make a podcast. I would love to do better YouTube videos, by giving my man Owen more B-roll and doing all the stuff that would make this amazing, but I just give him this stuff. There's 1,000 things that I'd love to do, but this isn't my job right now. This is literally just me making content for God knows what reason. If it got to a place where for some reason I was able to dedicate even more time, 1,000%, that would be so much fun. It's not that it's out of the question. I would love to do it. I just haven't figured out how to fit it in with the rest of the rigor yet. How do you get through your inbox? I feel like I could spend 4 hours of the day just replying to emails. So I've got a one sheet on this, again, link in bio on TikTok or on Instagram. It has a link to my career cheat sheets. Because I am long-winded, as you can tell if you watch these YouTube videos, I have a hard time answering questions through TikTok in short little snippets. So a lot of times I'll actually go in and I'll build a one sheet that does a full rundown of how I handle something like emails. So for email, I've got a one-touch system. When it comes in, it either gets responded to in 24 hours, it gets deleted, or it gets filed for a meeting. Really no exceptions. And yeah, it takes time. It's part of the reason why I'm up at 4 o'clock and the first thing I do is work. And it's part of the reason why I work from 8 until 9:30-ish every night as well. But I've got 240 people on my team, so there's a lot of responses and a lot of needs. But it takes rigor, discipline, and a system that works for you based off of where I want to go and what I would like to do and give myself continued opportunity to grow and do more. I put in that discipline and I put in that time because I want people to rely on me. I want people to feel comfortable knowing that I am all over it and there is never even the slightest question as to whether or not they're going to hear back from me in a timely manner. So, it's desired outcome and then finding a system that helps you get there. Jordan asks, from one same salad for lunch guy to another, what's in your salad, my dude? Well, Jordan, I would love to tell you because these are the topics that I easily geek out on. Hale and Hearty mixed greens. It comes with 4 staples or like 4 really standard elements that you can choose from. I think it's like croutons, cucumbers, carrots, and something else. I just do 3x cucumbers and 1 carrots for my 4 staples that go with the mixed greens. And I do a triple order of egg whites, beets, mushrooms, bell peppers, peppercini, broccoli, mushrooms, if I didn't say that already. Lemon juice and red wine vinegar is my dressing because it's super low calorie and it's plenty of flavor for me. Loads of salt and pepper. And then what I love about the dressing is especially when Jarrell makes mine, and if you know my TikTok, you may know who I'm talking about when I say Jarrell. When Jarrell makes mine, he just does a killer job. And there's like enough of the lemon juice and the red wine vinegar mixed in with the beet juice at the bottom that actually is kind of like a nice little juice. And I drink my salad dressing, and people at work think it's weird, and every once in a while I spill some on my tie, and that's a hot mess, but otherwise, that's my salad order. Hey Tim, just got a job at Under Armour. It's unlike anything I've ever done before. Super excited and terrified at the same time. Any tips? Yes. Make cross-functional relationships as quickly as you can. The better understanding that you have of what it takes other people to do their jobs, you're inherently going to, I'm assuming that Under Armour, because it's a pretty big company, is a matrix organization, meaning that if you're in marketing, you're still going to have to interact with people in sales, product, finance, HR, etc. Think about the places and the people that are going to rely on you and that you are going to rely on. Build relationships with them. So don't just look at it for like your boss, people on your team, people below you. Look at it across the board as well. Think about the place like a symphony. The more you can understand of what the string section actually does, who they are, and what is the best way to interact with them, the more beautiful of a sound you'll be able to help get from them. You'll stumble at first, it's inevitable. Like being new in a place, you're going to stumble all over the place. But the more you can have the right attitude, the more you can make people feel like they can trust you, the more you are truly inquisitive about what other people do and how you can help them do a better job. Make a list of questions that you'll have inevitably as you go through the day in and day out that you can ask your boss, that you can ask peers, that you can ask people in other departments. And then next thing you know, you'll be kicking ass and getting promotions. Can I do a video explaining how Kelly and I met? Super long story. Let me see how quick and succinct I can get it. I was in Dublin, Ireland, wrapping up a PGA golf event, went to a bar, had too much to drink, had a sinus infection in the works. Somebody offered me snuff. I tried it. It was terrible. I got on a flight the next day to LA, 13 hours in the air. took a flight from LA to Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, I had my next golf event to work on. It was the Michelin Championship of Las Vegas, the year 2004. I was a graphics producer, Kelly was a stage manager. She walks into this trailer. That was her first week on the job for ABC Sports with the PGA Golf crew. I'm immediately smitten. When she walked out of the trailer, because she basically kind of like reported into me. I was in charge of the people that did things like stage managing, the runners, like those types of jobs within the crew were part of my responsibilities as one of the graphics producers. And I remember thinking, God damn it, I really didn't want to be immediately attracted to the new stage manager that's got trouble written all over it. That night after work, she calls me up and says, hey, do you want to hang out? I felt terrible because of previously told story of being in Dublin and the long flight to get over to Vegas. I was like, I feel awful. Do you want to come to my room? I'm watching a movie. Super awkward first date counter response. She understandably was like, no, I'll take a rain check. Next night we end up going out. We hit it off to say the least. We spent 8 of the next 10 weeks on the road together because it was a PGA Tour, and when you're in production for the PGA Tour, events start on Thursdays, wrap on Sundays, so you're basically going from location to location to location to location. So we spent a lot of time on the road together, and we got to know each other really, really fast. Basically, it was like immediately fell in love. We tried to elope that January. So within October, November, December, like 4 months of meeting each other, we were like, all right, cool, let's go get married. Courts were closed on the day we tried to elope because it was Martin Luther King Day, and we ended up getting married that April. So 7 months from the day we met until the day we got married, and we are about to celebrate 17 years of being married together. Jake asked, if I could pick any tattoo that best represents your way of life, what would you pick? So it's the little logo that I use, and actually I tried to answer this before, but the audio screwed up, and then I took the magnet that Evelyn gave me to use as the visual example. So this guy, it's on my left tricep. It is the perfect combination, in my humble opinion, of who I am, which is a dude in a suit trying to fight the good fight in the corporate space. The boxing gloves not only help with the fight the good fight perspective and aura, so to speak. That's a terrible way to put it, but you get the gist. But it's also an ode to Kelly, because she is a small business owner, runs 2 kickboxing gyms, so it's kind of like the perfect combination of my world, her world, the fact that I'm in a suit all the time, but yet the fact that it's a tattoo of me in a suit just kind of makes it a little rock and roll, so to speak. And yeah, I would say it kind of best represents it, because it's about working hard, it's about fighting the good fight, which is a long time mantra of mine, and there's your answer. I think I got through all these again. Yeah. But well, after 8,000 misfires and a very patient wife and daughter, there is your week 4. I am your humble host. You're amazing for spending the time with me here in my basement, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.